So what Jesus taught in Matthew chapter 5, verse 27, he takes it to another level, because we see Old Testament, it says, do not commit adultery. We see that Jesus takes lust to a different level. And I think it applies to us today because we live in such a sexually charged culture. He says, you've heard it said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So men and women, how are you doing around this category of lust? We live in a culture where sex sells, and we're bombarded with it with advertising and media on every front. Inappropriate images are just a click and a swipe away at any moment. This is the lust that Jesus is talking about. So adultery or married, this qualifies as lust. So how are you doing in this private area of your life? What would it look like for you to get freedom from the slavery of lust? How much better would your marriage be if God freed you from this addiction? If you're living in the pixels, you're not a one-woman man. Ladies, if you're living in the scandalous novels, you're not a one-man woman. Singles, if you think this is something you do, well, just because you're single, because the world says it's okay, you know, you think I'm going to do it because I'm single. When I marry, I'll stop. Statistics say you won't. That's what the stats say. Even worldly statistics are saying that. You won't, and it will have a negative impact on your marriage. Stats are showing men that live in the pixels when they're single, they get married, and you know what? That one woman's not enough. They think, oh, I'm going to get married and I'm going to be good now. No, they need the fake, the pixels. This is not a one-woman man. So if this is where you are today, maybe today's the day to seek forgiveness, to admit this sin, to get freedom in Christ in this area of life. So what does it mean to be a one-woman man? It means that he loves just his wife. As the single man, he has eyes for just his wife of the future. That he's saving himself, his eyes, his mind for the future. I had a guy recently tell me, he said, you know, he's married now. He said, man, there was stuff that I saw I did when I was single. And he said, man, I wish I couldn't, because I struggle to unsee it now. It's heartbreaking, because this is destroying marriages, and this is disqualifying men from leadership in God's church. But it doesn't have to be a disqualifier. You can become a one-woman man, because God can bring you freedom from even the pixels.